Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your September 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Pisces water signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading. It's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you. But what I do find is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Pisces signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And then get notified when the next videos are up. So Pisces, let's jump in. I'm feeling a lot of energy of nostalgia here, Pisces, and I feel like there's a little bit of a struggle to let go of the past, to let go of somebody. It feels like an ex to me, someone that you've recently, split from. You may still be having some contact with that person, but it feels like something that has, recently come to an end. And there is some kind of challenge here around embracing a new beginning. And for some of you, that's actually a new love that I see. But it can also just be simply about some kind of new emotional beginning inside of yourself. But there's this really strong energy of nostalgia here, of going back over the past, revisiting, old times, good memories, things like that, looking at pictures. And this energy of regret for some of you, of if I had done this or if I had said that, maybe things would have worked out differently. Because there were things about this connection which really needed resolving, which of course is why, it has broken down. And with your overall energies, we have the Ace of Cups, a new beginning, an invitation for a new beginning. Now, for some of you, this might relate to career. This could be some kind of new creative opportunity that the universe is bringing in for you. Some of you, it's a new love or some kind of new emotional beginning. And being open to that, because I really feel, Pisces, that the universe has come in and moved, people, places, situations to bring in some kind of new beginning for you, because I really feel like you are meant to walk a new path right now. And what lies in your recent past, the Queen of Pentacles, this is all about looking after yourself, your home, your career, nurturing yourself, lessons of self-worth and value. Your current energies, judgment, a life review, taking stock and really reflecting, on the past, which is probably why I'm feeling, this really strong energy of nostalgia for some of you. There's a lot of your heart energy wrapped up in this person or situation. A lot of, let's say, emotional attachments. So, of course, when you connect to someone and it has been a significant connection, there are these energy cords, these emotional attachments to this person. Your heart energy is in there. Even if, there were things about the connection which, really needed resolving. And with judgment, it really is all about learning from the past so that moving forwards, you don't repeat the same mistakes. There are no mistakes, but so you don't kind of go down the same roads and repeat the same patterns again. So it's a call to accountability, looking at perhaps the soul lessons here, Pisces, which I feel are with this Queen of Pentacles, lessons in worth and value for many of you. And, really holding true to that, knowing what you have to bring to the table. And your feelings towards your situation, the Seven of Wands, standing in your truth. No matter what, regardless of, what other people around you, may think or feel about that. The Seven of Wands is really about staying true to you. And what lies in your area of a challenge is the Eight of Wands, moving on, moving forwards, taking that next step for many of you. So the Eight of Wands, it really is just a sign from the universe to, move ahead, to take an action. Often represents communication channels being open for those of you that may be in no contact with your person. Incoming messages, things like that. And with your hidden influence, the Four of Cups. And, this is a card of emotional fulfillment, but for some of you it represents, taking some time out, taking a step back from this situation, which is really important, especially with the Judgment card there, to take stock, to reevaluate, to look at, what are your true feelings? What do you really want moving forwards? And looking at what do you let go of and what do you take with you? Learning from the past. And, it is super important to do that, but the caution of this card as well is not to get stuck. Not to get stuck in that space, because sometimes if we stay there too long, we can actually miss the blessings that the universe is bringing in around us, a little bit like this cup that's being offered in the card there. So for some of you, I really feel like a new person has shown up in your life, a new offer of love for many of you. And, there's a little bit of a challenge to take that step with those Eight of Wands and embrace, this new offer. Because you're still kind of in this energy of nostalgia and going back over the past. But the thing I keep hearing here was, even if you did, do you truly believe it would be different? Because when I feel into it, I almost get this sense of, if something were to reconcile, it would be okay for a while and then it would just end up becoming what it was before. And that's the caution, and that is something, of course, only you know, and it's really important to just really listen to your heart on this, Pisces. Because what lies ahead of you is, how I see it, a huge light of expansion, of one that kind of leads you to what you truly want. But it will involve, I feel, moving on from something or somebody, letting something go. And really trusting, like I said, I feel like the universe has come in and moved things around to set you on a different path. So it's a path, that really is for your highest and best. And with your advice from the universe, we have the Two of Wands. So a choice that needs to be made. And the most important thing about the Two of Wands, I feel, is making a choice which leads you to a place of growth and expansion. And, making a choice that leads you closer to what you truly want, you know, staying aligned with what your heart really wants, your true feelings, you know, knowing your worth and your value, you know, these energies of self-love, and making a choice that, you know, leads you to a better place in yourself, in life. And in your outcome position, we have the Four of Pentacles, which often represents, you know, these energies of holding on too tightly, keeping things close to your chest. It's a very guarded energy that comes really from a place of fear, where really what we need to do is to bring in more trust in yourself, more trust in the universe, and more trust in your life path. And I really feel, you know, a strong message here, Pisces, to not be afraid to make a big change in your life and to take that leap of faith. And rather than, you know, clinging to the past, which to me really feels like it's done, it's about letting go and not being afraid to take that step towards whatever, you know, this new beginning, this new offer or opportunity is for you. So Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, and I wish you a great month ahead.